try to take me out, they try to shut me down. They wanna take my place, they wanna steal my crown. Filling my mind with doubt, I need to be restored. When it feel like I lost my way, and I'm in the need of joy. I gotta praise more, I gotta praise more.
I love it.
I gotta praise more, I gotta praise more. I gotta praise more, I gotta praise more. I gotta praise more, I gotta praise more. I admit I ain't never been perfect, and I guess that's a part of my purpose. When I'm talking to God, I get nervous. All these blessings I'm so undeserved. He see past.
Yo, I'm in the building, man. This is part 2. I'm here on a Friday, and I'm in here with the most beautiful Miss Mandi Sabo. What's up, Miss Mandi?
Hey, happy to be here.
What's good, man?
We're back at it.
Yeah, we back at it again, man. We back at it again. I am the host, and here's where we starve our distractions, man, and feed our focus, where testimony becomes our motivation, determination becomes our strength. So let God continue to guide you on your journey to success, man. You already know.
Oh.
This podcast is powered by.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Crown Vision Podcast with your host, Brian O. and O. We're thrilled to have you with us today as we dive deep into the heart of our communities. That's right, here on the Brian O. Crown Vision Podcast, we believe in discussing real life, real things, and everyday experiences that shape our lives and our neighborhoods. Absolutely. Whether it's building friendships, inspiring change, or tackling tough topics, our mission is to bring you honest conversation and practical insights. We explore stories from everyday heroes, discuss ways to connect with one another, and empower you to make a difference right here where you are.
Yep, you already know what it is.
Clown Meta Vision, Media Vision.
The devil doesn't realize that what he sent to wipe you out woke you up. It brought you to your senses. You ought to thank God for whatever he used to stop you from your foolishness, to bring you out of yourself and to mature you.
Hey, yo, man, I had to play it because that gets me so hyped. My spirit.
I love it.
That spirit, man, because I know exactly what. I'm glad he broke me out of that to mature me to be right here, sitting in this booth right now with Mandi, Miss Brown, my kids, the whole barbershop. Come on, man, let's go.
I love when he hits the horn.
All right, Miss Mandi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. We're gonna have some fun.
Okay. All right, real quick. Can you explain what Angels for Recovery is?
I can. So Angels for Recovery is an initiative we started in 2020, and it was to honor the lives of people that have been lost to overdose. And it is a place where family members can bring their loved one's legacy to life to help others people in recovery get the help they need.
Okay, that's dope. That's real dope. So this year, Faith Recovery is hosting both an Overdose Awareness Day and the Ryan Taylor Golf Tournament, Miss Mary. Just days apart, why is it important to hold these events so close?
So Overdose Awareness Day is international, right? And that is something that is so important to so many people because in this field, right, we know it's a life or death cause.
Mm-hmm.
And we have lost some incredible people, and they are so much more than what they died from. They were a whole person, and they made a huge impact on a lot of people. So we really want to give the time and space for people to share the things that they loved about their loved one and why they loved them and why there's a hole in their heart that they just miss that person so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an amazing place where we get to tell stories and be together. And addiction can feel really lonely, loss can feel really lonely, right? And so I think coming together on that one day really gives us an opportunity to be together and to mourn with those who mourn. And then Ryan's tournament obviously is a really incredible way to bring the community together again in a different way to honor him on his birthday and his life, and to remember that there are still people out there struggling from this, and there's hope for them. There's breath in their lungs, there's hope for them, and his fund makes a way for people that are ready for that opportunity.
Right. Real quick, Miss Merrick, I do not know play golf.
I
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandy, you know how to play?
I can be there.
Uh,
All right, look, the first year I strapped my baby to my chest. I went out there and did it. Yep, Mary was my witness. Look, last year they gave us the most supersized golf carts. Do you remember that, Mary? Yes. And it was so fun. Like our guys had the best time just going around, making sure everybody had waters, snacks, and everything like that, and just driving around that big golf cart. Like that was a really fun memory. And the family, we would switch off. We kind of had like a taxi situation. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I never see. I need to do that. I need to get out and do other things, man.
Yes.
I definitely need to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
get you out
definitely
there.
do. Yeah. Why is it important to pause and be a human in work? You know, because you in this field, you with Faith Recovery.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of people come in and
Yes.
come out.
Yeah.
How often the pause? What's that all about?
So I remember it was actually specifically the year that we started Angels for Recovery. I went to more funerals that year than birthdays. That hit hard. That sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sucked. And I think in this work, there's always somebody who needs help, like the next person that needs help. And you
Right.
kind of have to like, all right, let's go help this person. Let's
Yeah.
help this person. We
Yeah.
have this resource for them. And you kind of have to, you got your respect the hustle shirt on.
Ha.
Like,
Hold on,
hit the horn.
hold on. You don't brought that up now. Okay. Where my camera at? Oh, here we go. Here. Like the hustle, baby. Hey, Supreme Styles, man. House of Fashion, man. Go get yours, man.
We love Ray. We love
Go get
Ray.
Looking for some clothes, looking for some clothes.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Hey, but right now I need to look like I sound. Oh, they gonna be all on this.
Yeah. You know what? I like that. But hold on. Let's try something different.
Man, this is nice. I'm gonna be the sharpest guy there.
Okay. We're getting close. But hold up. I think I got the right one for you. Hey, yeah. It's that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Mandy, for recognizing swag when you see it, baby.
You know,
Let's go.
I gotta do it.
Yeah, let's go.
With that being said, we're always thinking about the next person, but these are whole people that we loved and we knew, and to really pause and be present in people's pain with them, and to recognize that this person is not just someone we move on. This is not just a number. This is a whole human that we
Right.
love and we lost. And I think that pausing almost feels wrong sometimes because there's,
Yeah.
like I said, there's got to hustle to help the next person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those of us in this field are human too, right? And we love these people. We pour our heart into this, and of course we're gonna be affected,
Yeah.
you know. And then a year goes by, and oh my gosh, that person, passed a year ago, or this person lost this person a year ago, and then how the years go. It slips away from you. So really pausing to remember people as they were. Like I said, there's so much more that we died from. To remember them for the good things they brought to you, the things they taught you. Everybody in our lives leaves an impact
That's
on
hard.
us.
That's hard to do. That's hard.
It's
It's hard.
hard.
It's hard, man, because when you in your drug addiction, and for me, I'm gonna put it for me, for
Yeah.
instance, you know what I mean? It was some things I've done bad, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's hard for people to really see unless they gotta really see your heart.
Mhm.
Really gotta see your heart when you're trying to change your life.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for so long. And look, I started this thing in 2011.
Mhm.
2011, my first basketball tournament.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even for the kids. It was I
Mm.
did 2 adult tournaments first at the James City County Rec Center.
Yeah.
And then when that stopped, I like, man, it didn't fulfill me. So I started working with the kids. So then I started working with the kids for all those long until currently. It took a lot for the community just to see me. You know what I mean? And not just another junkie or whatever. So I applaud you for the work that you do because you're giving voice to the voiceless, and you're showing love where people thought they couldn't see no love.
Yeah.
You know, and so I take this so in recovery. I never when I was in my recovery, when I not in my recovery, but when I was in my mess. And I was never introduced to places like Faith Recovery. You know what I'm saying? If I would have saw that guy on Lighthouse, I probably would have ran for it.
I
Because
love that. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Keep the light on.
Yes.
The same Motel 6. Keep the light on, baby. Yeah. How's the golf tournament help carry forward Ryan's legacy? And creating new opportunities for men in recovery today?
Sure. So Ryan's golf tournament really brings awareness to his legacy. One, because a platform like this, where we get to tell Mary and Ryan's story, right? Where we get to talk about the hard stuff, the things people don't want to talk about.
Right.
And look, can you be in recovery and not talk about hard stuff?
Nah.
Nah.
You
No.
gotta talk about it because, man, when I was in therapeutic community, man, we sat in a circle like how they do in AA in the dorms where we was at, and we had to talk, man. We had to talk, and somehow Miss Diane, she always plucked it out of me. I don't know
Okay.
how she did it. You know what I'm saying? But she softened me up. I don't know why, because I had a hard exterior on the outside. You couldn't break that barrier. Nobody, but she did it. You know what I mean? And that's when I believe my recovery started. Right there. Even after the relapses and stuff like that along the way, but there was tools that she was giving me that stayed with me to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's right. And so that's the thing about Ryan's event. It forces us to talk about something hard, which is loss and death and outliving your child. That is a horrible thing. Nobody wants to talk about. They get very uncomfortable, right? When you talk about death in general. And I think too, people see me, this little happy person. I'm like, let's talk about death. But I'm aware that part of the joy is of life, right? And you can relate to this because biblically, right? In Ecclesiastes, we look at it and it talks about how life is fragile and out of our control, right? And so people die, and that's a part of life. But the reason that life is so precious is because we wake up every day not entitled to our next breath.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. If once you really realize the importance of death, you'll be able to live with joy, right? And respecting that God is in control of everything.
Man.
And whether that's what I'm saying. So life is temporary out of our control, but if God gives us another day with more breath in our lungs, then we can face that. We can embrace the fact that life is that way because we know ultimately he's good. And I think Mary's tournament and Ryan's tournament, we have a place where we can share that here is a life lost and it is tragic and it is hard and people do feel embarrassed talking about the stigma, right? I really believe every year we tell Ryan's story, every podcast, every news article, every WI Daily article, we're dismantling stigma with the stories because some people have an idea of what somebody in recovery and addiction looks like. And to me, I believe whatever they look like, whatever they've been through, they're worth pursuing. They're worth having a second chance, in my opinion. But I think challenging some of the preconceived notions and kind of having them sit there at that dinner after the tournament and hear about who Ryan was, seeing his best friend there and his mom and his sister, it kind of starts to make you think again, like, man, this could have happened to somebody I loved, right? When she says the 1 in 3 statistic, you think, oh, well, maybe I'm not that far removed, or it just challenges these beliefs that a lot of our society still carries when it comes to addiction and recovery. Not in my world, right? Because that's a big part of, everybody's kind of accepting and loving and getting behind and cheering, but there's still a lot of people that do look down on people in recovery. When you're talking about like building your name back up and thinking you were just an addict, like that's a horrible thing. And how are you gonna
if you ask this Brian, the old Brian would say, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But this Brian is like, hey, this just it happened.
I did. But I'm saying like looking down on somebody because of their past is horrible.
Yeah. It's horrible, period.
Horrible, period. Not what happened. It's the fact that someone would judge somebody. Like, because I look at some of my friends in recovery.
You're going to get that. Yeah. You're going to get that. I'm going to tell you right now, every addict that's in recovery, people going to look at you that way. So you got to have thick skin in it, in a sense, and still have an open heart. You know what I'm saying? Have understanding because they feel that way. That's their problem. So we can't get into what everybody else
No,
thinks.
but we can say that I think stories like Mary's moves the meter because it challenges what
It
they
does.
previously
It
thought,
does.
right?
It
And so
does. It
even
does. It
even
does.
baby steps are progress. Like
It
even if
does.
we can't convince somebody, we can't persuade them not to think bad thoughts, but sharing these stories with bravery and impact and not staying quiet, maybe it just moves the meter a little bit closer where they're a little more
It does. It moved the meter. I
understand.
really, I do. That's why I started this. You know what I mean? Knowing that it's not a popular topic.
Right.
Don't nobody want to talk about it, and half the addicts don't want to give their testimony.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because
That's what I'm saying. So like, I was telling you, like, man, when I'm on social media, man, when I'm talking about stuff like this, there's no views for that. I do it because it might one person might see it, and that's all I need them to see.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's all I need.
All right, hit it. Hit the horn.
Oh. Big shouts out to my God,
there
man.
you
Come on.
go.
Big shouts out to my God, man. I love you. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. But it's a fact, man, because on social media, Miss Mandi, it's like it's crazy. It's like the negative is taking over the views, the clicks, you know what I mean? But they wonder why we have this senseless murders and stuff that goes around. You know what I'm saying? It's what we feed ourselves. So spiritually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I try to, like I said, I was playing.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Are we gonna hear it again? All right, let's do it.
On my sin that she worth. Could be dead with my face on the shirt. In the trenches where demons are lurking. We convert them and bring them to church. Ball a body along with a Birkin.
But on top of the reducing stigma, kind of, challenging thoughts and bringing awareness, that's all super important. But on top of that, the funds this brings in, that makes a huge difference. Huge. That woman has helped us raise thousands of dollars, and her son's Mary Brown has been courageous enough to share her story, and people are captivated by that, by a mother that just loves her son beyond death, right? And just he is such a big part of her story and her life, and I think people see that and they want to get involved, and they give out of the goodness of their heart. We see generous gifts every year. Like, so I'll see things come in, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And that really does go to opening a door for somebody who needs that resource.
Right.
And so it's really changing lives, right? Because providing somebody the opportunity to get these resources when they wouldn't have it otherwise, but they have the will, the determination, willingness, the humility to accept that into their life.
With faith recovery, is there like opportunities for people that's incarcerated to get into your program?
So yeah, there's an application process, and if they're incarcerated, they still have to go through the application process, right? So there are certain barriers to getting into our recovery program, but most of the time, if they're 18 and older, right, and they apply for this and they prepare, we can accept most people, but there are certain background checks that we do have to do just because they're living in a residential recovery space, and we need to make sure that everybody feels safe. And but we try to, make sure that as many people as possible can be accepted and have a chance.
I had to ask that, man, because I know it's going to be on my platform. So, you know what I mean? I'm all around my peoples. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But Katina, I'm going to throw to Katina doing our admissions. She's amazing. She will ask and make sure that it's a good fit on both sides. And so if values align, God willing, they'll be there.
One more thing before we close this thing out. What would you say to someone listening who has lost someone to overdose addiction and may feel like they're walking alone in that grief?
I think personally, the grief I've experienced, my best friend lost her dad suddenly in college, and we were roommates, and I remember her getting that call and just watching her grief journey. And grieving can be so lonely outside of, overdose. And then you get people that have lost loved ones that maybe they were in addiction with them, and they lost that person, and there's survivor's guilt, right?
Right. Survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had that time. We had that conversation.
We did, yeah. Yeah. So look, I had never really heard of it before. Obviously, I got into this field. And when I found out about it, I was really intrigued. So I did some research just because I wanted to know, okay, what is survivor's guilt? What does that mean?
Oh, I'm about to find out.
You go look it up. Okay, look it up. And this is the cool part, right? Is that we go back to talking about Overdose Awareness Day and Mary, Mary's tournament with Ryan. And I learned this in college when I did research about grieving in general. Not because I'm a counselor or anything, just because I love my business and I wanted to understand what she was going through a little bit more.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was looking at grief and just the different phases and everything. And one part I really honed in on was the legacy portion, like doing something productive in their arm does really help honor legacy. And so it's neat that our Angels for Recovery was formed because I remember being like, oh man, like how do I stand alongside these people? How do I mourn with these people in a way I haven't lost a child myself, right?
Right.
And so learning about that legacy portion and how productive that is in grieving is a really sweet element that I guess, thank you God we got it right.
Okay. All right. Survivor's guilt is the feeling of guilt, sadness, or remorse after surviving a traumatic event such as war, natural disasters, loss of loved ones, when others did not survive, suffering significant harm. All right. It is often a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and involves a sense of unfairness, questioning why one survived or feeling one should have prevented the loss. Come on, man. That thing
That's
right
hard.
there. Yeah, that's hard. That is hard.
That is hard. That's what we're talking about, the hard stuff. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Because somebody's out there feeling lonely, and maybe because of this, they feel a little less lonely today.
Yeah. Well, we're here. We out here.
We're out here.
Yeah, we out here. We out here, man. You already know. We ain't scared of no ghosts. Come on,
No.
man. Yeah. All right.
You just gave me a t-shirt idea. Now I gotta.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Wait for it to know.
I can print it up for you.
Okay, let's do it.
So yeah. So Mandi, thank you, man.
Thank you.
We finally did it.
We did it.
Right. We got to get back here. Hold on. That's for off the camera conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Thank you very much for tuning in, man, to Crown Media Vision podcast, man. Hope to see y'all next time, man. If you don't know where to catch my podcast, if you're looking for it, you can catch me at Weeball Foundation on YouTube, or you can go to Facebook and just pull my page up, Brian WBF Opus. You already know. Link it up, man. Let's go. Like and subscribe.
Love it. You didn't bring up ET.
No, I didn't. I ain't bring music. I got the handle, so every time I'm looking on it, I'm looking for it if I see my eye.
Yeah.
But I ain't really see too much of it. It didn't bother me too much.